Hey there, and welcome back to The Disconnected. I've been running down some of my favorite releases from all of 2022 for physical media, and today we are continuing down that with some of my favorite box sets. So first, I think we have to define box sets. A lot of people look at box set just as anything that comes in a hard chipboard box, and I don't look at it like that. I think that it has to be a genuine collection of films. So a single movie in a hard box does not count as a box set for me. And even two films, I tend to look at that more as a double feature, less than a box set. Like Vinegar Syndrome released a double feature of westerns this year. I wouldn't consider that a box set. So usually I look at something that's three or more films in a collection, and all of these fit that definition for me, and they are all incredible. I will have certain feelings and explanations for all of these, and they're not necessarily ranked. And you'll notice that there's some that were bigger for other people that have not fallen either across my lap quick enough to be able to absorb them, or something that I love. These are just my favorites of the year. A couple of these, I will give the caveat now that I haven't necessarily gone all the way through them, but I will talk about them in the moment of why and why I wanted to bring them up for now, because all of these are at least special to me. And so let's break into the first one. The first one is one I haven't even put a single disc in, so it's odd to be talking about it, I know. However, I'm sure I'm going to love this. I wanted to bring up Arrow Video's release of Juan The Grudge collection. This is a box set that's not complete necessarily, but it is about what I expected for us to someday get out of the Grudge collection, and perhaps even better. I mean, we got a full collection with The Grudge in 4K. We also have a nice book with this. And for a release that I've literally been begging for like 2.5, 3 years, this is one that I'm looking forward to enjoying every single moment that they put into this, and cannot wait. Just wanted to shout this out, that this was a latecomer. Otherwise, because these are so wanted for me, this might have made definitely on my list. So I just wanted to shout that one out. Next one. This is one that is very near and dear to me. If you've watched this channel, I brought it up a few times the last couple months. Wanted to give a special shout to the Eureka Entertainment release of the Police Story Trilogy in 4K. So that's the biggest deal to me, is that this is an upgrade to UHD for all three of these films, with a nice box, nice book with it. The release itself was controversial because a lot of people were complaining about how the J card here doesn't fit. Ridiculous. I'm honestly shocked mine has not fallen off yet. I really expected it to be like tattered by now, but no big deal. Yeah, these were films that I loved very much growing up. Loved Jackie Chan. Some of the best action in martial arts history, in my opinion, primarily because probably a lot of the nostalgia related to it, but genuinely one of my favorite releases of the year. And to see the really nice 4K upgrade to all three of these films to make this worth it is something that I absolutely was thrilled to see. Next are two box sets that are from a label that have gotten well known primarily over the last few years because of their box sets. And one of them is well known and people are talking about it quite a bit. The other one's getting a little bit overlooked, but I wanted to give them each a little bit of special attention. And of course, by now you probably know these are coming from Severin Films. The one that is super well known, this is the Incredibly Strange Films of Ray Dennis Deckler. Wonderful release. Basically all encompassing of Ray, and everything that is in here is done in this really nice, respectful level to somebody that, again, kind of like they've done in the past for Andy Milligan and Al Adamson, somebody that did not get a lot of love and respect while they were alive and contributing to film. Nowadays, in 2022 and to the early parts of 2023, we're seeing this release with Ray's name associated with other greats that put out amazing physical media releases this year. So it is nice to see him being acquainted with and associated with some of those giant directors' names throughout history. The release, again, is very similar to the Al Adamson set, with the pockets and the like book style release, which I gotta be honest, I don't love. It's not my favorite construction, but it does make sense when it's something like this. Really nice book with this release. Lots of information, a lot of key art that, unless you were following Deckler through a lot of his time, maybe you never got to see a lot of it. So it is wonderful to see it all in print brought together. And that's really what Severin did best here. I mean, the number of films that we get on this box set, as you can see in the back, are massive. I mean, this is a 10-disc career-spanning collection. We got 20 films on here scanned in 4K and 2K from the best elements, and there is a ton of special features. It is wonderful that we got all of this together. And again, I love that Severin is giving this sort of respect and sort of accolades to a filmmaker that did not get that as much when they were actually making the films, and they just continue to knock these director's box sets completely out of the park for me. The other one that I want to shout out from Severin is one that went a lot under the radar this year, which I'm really confused about because it's genuinely a wonderful release. That is the box set that is called House of Psychotic Women. And the films in this, we have Identikit, I Like Bats, Footprints, and The Other Side of the Underneath. These are films that are wonderful, to say the least. They are underseen. In 2012, Kayla Janice put out House of Psychotic Women, and this is inspired by that. Kayla worked a lot on getting this released, even re-released her book this year with more writing in it, and Severin put out a bundle where you could get that new version of the book with the box set. Absolutely incredible that they did that. And because Kayla is so associated with Severin and genuinely like a part of the team nowadays, Kayla was able to curate this in a way that gave us amazing key art for all of these. I can't show that first one, but this is The Other Side of the Underneath. Next one is Footprints. Here is I Like Bats, and then Identikit. Genuinely 4 great films, 4 releases that could have stood on their own as wonderful single releases. There are special features on all of these, including introductions by Kayla herself. There are also extended versions of some of these. There are some interviews, some commentaries, just a wonderful collection of films that highlight a very specific type of film. And I'm glad that they were able to do this. I wish that it came out in a way that wasn't as overshadowed by some of these other releases. Obviously, Deckler was getting a lot of the attention when this dropped, but remarkable release from Severin. It really shows how much care that they were putting into something like this. Now, this next one is a little unfair, and I get that. I've got 2 releases from a studio here that are known for putting out incredible 4K restorations, and one I've already shown on this channel quite a bit. That is Columbia Classics Volume 3 4K Collection. The films in here, great films. We got It Happened One Night, From Here to Eternity, To Sir with Love, The Last Picture Show, Annie, and As Good as It Gets. The important thing is all of the films look incredible in 4K. They are delivered in this package, which I tend to really like. I know a lot of people don't like this, but it's something that I really, really enjoy. But then possibly the best part of this third version, especially because the first 2 volumes that they put out, they did really well with the special features, but this one is like a whole new level. I mean, we have bonus films as some of the extras on here. We have radio adaptations. We have updated audio commentaries on every single film. We have basically everything that you could want for these. And then, of course, it comes with a wonderful book, comes with digital copies for all of the films for a studio release, and one that went on sale fairly quickly. I mean, to get all 6 of these in 4K in this nice package with everything for like $75 is kind of remarkable. And that leads into the next one, which I've not been able to give my full time and attention to this one yet, but one that came out of nowhere. Sony released their 30th anniversary Sony Pictures Classics box set. Now, this includes 11 films in 4K. This one, the packaging is a little more iffy compared to that Columbia Classics. When you open this up, you get all of the films. Let me set it down so I can open it to show. You get all of the films just side by side. They all have their own slipcover with unique art, very like stylized slipcover for each of the films. But the films that came in this, we have Orlando, The Celluloid Closet, The City of Lost Children, SLC Punk, Run Lola Run, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, The Devil's Backbone, Voltaire, Schenectady, New York, Still Alice, and Call Me By Your Name. Now, there are some of these, like SLC Punk, It jumped all the way from DVD to 4K. It was never on Blu-ray in the United States, at least. In fact, I don't think it got a legit Blu-ray anywhere in the world. But some of these, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, got a complete upgrade. This had a 4K release previously. This has a brand new Dolby Vision passover and some other things that were updated on it. But again, bonus features on pretty much everything. It is wonderful to see these together, primarily because it is a grouping of 11 films that are incredibly high quality. Some of the best movies of all time. Hard to argue with that. Things like Orlando that are beloved. The Celluloid Closet, which is incredibly important. A couple of these, like SLC Punk, is maybe a little out of place, but I think for a cultural touch point at that time, it's a fun movie. Maybe not fun was the right choice, but it's good to see at least once. I loved Matthew Lillard in that movie, so you know, I'm glad I have it. Schenectady, New York, Devil's Backbone, Still Alice, Call Me by Your Name. These are all classics, ones that people loved pretty much immediately. And it's just a ridiculously strong box set. And yet another one that went on sale fairly quickly. So from retailers that were selling this for like $210 on release, almost immediately you could get this for like $140. Leading up to the holidays, this was going for about $140. I see this getting some like very high prices on the secondhand market if this goes out of print fairly quickly. With 11 movies on 4K all grouped together so perfectly, it's kind of a remarkable release. Though, not quite as remarkable as something that really fits me and my taste almost better than anything. Those of you that watch this channel a lot, you've seen a lot of mentions of this throughout this year. This is Imprint's release of After Dark Neo-Noir Cinema Volume 1 or Collection 1, and it is incredible. The films we get in this: After Dark, My Sweet, Mortal Thoughts, Rush, One False Move, Flesh and Bone, and Twilight. Again, updated commentaries, updated interviews. A few of these probably would have been incredible releases on their own, but Imprint just came out swinging and made this wonderful box set. I love the style of film. I love the way these look because most of them are from the early 90s to the early 2000s. And that era of film is just something special compared to nowadays. It's that time where, we had more mid-budget films. People could go shoot in, Tunisia or something to get some scenes and just make it look ridiculously great. Really good practical effects in a lot of this, not marred down with a whole bunch of CGI. Pretty fun acting and really strong scripts. A lot of these are great. And with these, sort of erotic thrillers that were just more adult tinged, it was something that led a lot of people to discovering fun in movies that were storytelling in a way like these that you would see, on late night cable, or that you would discover as a teenager in the late 90s, trying to fall in love with movies. And it really helped with that. And thankfully, obviously I haven't gotten to it because it's still sealed. Imprint seemed to see the merit in these type of films, and they came out and introduced us to After Dark Neo-Noir Cinema Collection 2 right at the end of 2022. This box has Blue Steel, Internal Affairs, The Crimson Rivers, The Way of the Gun, The Yards, and Narc. And a few of these, again, huge movies. The Yards, Narc are wonderful. I can't wait to revisit some of these. Crimson Rivers, another one that's a big one. But primarily, I want to shout out Blue Steel. That movie is amazing. I cannot wait to see this updated version. Again, we have updated commentaries, updated interviews, special features. A few of these probably would have commanded a great single film release, but Imprint just said, you know what? We're going to throw them all together and make a wonderful box set. And this is a collection from Imprint that I hope goes on for a while. I hope that they are continuing to do these. I know that they're selling pretty well for Imprint. They're especially that Collection Volume 1 went out of print fairly quickly. Collection 2 is probably getting fairly close already. Imprint just doing a lot of incredible work over the last few years. They're still a fairly young label. I believe they started in May of 2020 with their first release. And since then, they've done like 200 spines. It's wild what they're putting out. In fact, this newest box set is 178 to 183. They've already announced more than their 200 spine. Those will be coming the next couple of months. And I just can't wait to see what they have next. They're the ones that opened they broke the seal for Paramount Films. So it's nice to see that they were able to do that and just keep adding to home video. They're absolutely killing it. What were your favorite box sets? Let me know what you thought for the year. I'm sure a lot of you had Shawscope Volume 2. It's just not my thing that I'm immediately drawn to watching. I have Not been able to check any of it out yet. I really want to, and I'm just inundated with so many good things that I want to watch and catch up on that I will get to it. I apologize for not shining the light on it that I'm sure it has. However, pretty much everybody else under the sun has been shining that light. So hopefully you understand. And in the meantime, yeah, let me know in the comments what was your favorite box set of the year, something that really meant a lot to you, because box sets are so great in the fact that you can just spend a huge chunk of time with them. I love box sets for that they can like curate a small festival for you. In the meantime, got some more videos coming, still best of 22 time. I've got some of my favorite discoveries for 2022 that I want to talk about, and of course my favorite films from 2022 that I saw, which I didn't get to watch as many as I wanted. A lot of the heavy hitters I still haven't gotten to see yet, but we'll talk about that soon. And until then, from one collector to all of you, have a good night.